Hello, and thank you so much for being here, for tuning in. I just wanted to take a moment and say thank you for Lima for giving me the opportunity to be here on Global Speaking Spotlight. What a great opportunity, what a great platform that she's building out, and for all these wonderful people that are showing up to share their gifts. And I just wanted to say thank you to everybody out there that's tuning in live right now, and even those that are coming in on the replay. And of course, I want to say thank you to everyone that's here, both seen and unseen. Your your energy, your vibration is much appreciated, and I'm so grateful to be here and have an opportunity to share with you something that's been so powerful and profound for me. And this message that I wanted to talk about today is stepping out into the unknown, overcoming your fears. Right? So life can be such a great teacher in that way, and will show us our fears. Will show us lessons based on the fears, and will test us just when we think we've got it all figured out. Here's the lesson. Here's the test, right? So that's what I wanted to talk about today. And how do we overcome them? And then what do we do with the momentum and the energy that we've overcome it with? And how to spring forward. So I wanted to share an experience that I had just recently because life is a powerful teacher, and this experience involved my children. And I see my children as my little Yodas, my little gurus that teach me all the time. They're always teaching me. And when I stop and pause just for a minute and reflect, the lesson's there, as clear as ever. And that is what happened to me just recently. I bought some brand new mountain bikes for my kids for their birthday. And over the weekend, they said, Dad, we want to go riding. And so far, they've just been riding on sidewalks and jumping off the curbs and everything. But I thought maybe I would take them to some proper mountain trails. So we set off to go ride some mountain trails. And these kind of were maybe a little bit more advanced than I had thought. And it took us a moment, but we got to a starting point and we started down the trail. And I told him, I said, hey, try going slow. Follow me and remember to trust in your bike, to trust in your riding skills, and just follow me. Well, I said, I'm going to go ahead, follow behind me, and off I went. But I went a little too fast, a little too far, and my son, he gained a lot of momentum pretty quickly and didn't have good control over his brakes. And when he hit this jump, he launched into the air. And when he came down and landed, he crashed, and he crashed really hard. And I stopped and I looked back, and he was crying and calling for me. And I went to him, and he said, Dad, I don't want to ride anymore. I'm going to walk home. And I took a deep breath and I looked at him and I said, hey, you got to get back on the bike. You got to get back on the bike. We've got to finish this trail. And he said, no, Dad, I'm too scared. I don't want to get back on the bike. And I said, you can do it. Just trust yourself, follow me, and go slow. Just trust me. After some convincing, he got on the bike and we set back down the trail. And he was hitting the curves and the turns and getting some confidence back, jumping some small jumps. Then he started taking the medium-sized jumps, then the larger jumps. The next thing you know, he was laughing and just filled with joy. And when we got to the end of the trail, he said, Dad, that was the best experience ever. And and it made me smile, you know? I thought, wow. But in the moment, the lesson was kind of obscure. It wasn't until later, when I had time to really sit and reflect on it, that the lesson was obvious to me. When I reflected on it, I thought, where in my own life have I followed, trusted, and then crashed and burned? Where have I said, I'm not going to ride anymore. I'm just going to walk home? And I was reflecting on this experience that I'm on right now, where I'm stepping out onto stages, facing audiences of people I've never met before, sharing a story that's deep in my heart. But there's some fear about that. And sometimes I criticize myself, and maybe those automatic negative thought systems that are operating in the subconscious in the background are saying, "Oh, you ruined that one. You messed up that talk, or you didn't say the right thing here. You're just not good enough." Well, rather than feeding into those fears and listening to those thoughts, I've been challenging them. And my coach has been encouraging me to step onto stages, even and get my feet wet. Just keep trying, keep talking, because you're just going to get better. And sure, you might have ups and downs, highs and lows, but that's all part of the journey. We have to step out into the unknown. We have to step out into the fear, and we have to understand how to connect to that energy that's inside of us all, because we all have this wonderful gift of life. We all have these wonderful gifts that somebody else needs to hear. I have something to share that might be resonating with you right now, that might be giving you the courage to step out into your unknown, whatever that is. But what I know is that when we hit rock bottom, in order for us to break through, we've got to bounce back up. We've got to get back on that mountain bike. We cannot let the fear dictate our outcomes. I think it was Carl Jung that said, those that let the subconscious rule their life will will call it fate. Those that don't let the subconscious come to the conscious, it will rule their life and they will call it fate. And in the subconscious are these fears, right? These negative thought patterns, these belief systems that are keeping us from rising up past that ceiling. And until we confront those fears and challenge them and dismiss them and move past it, we just stay stuck in our place. So that's what I saw with my son in this lesson. I could have said, "Oh, yeah, you're right. Maybe you shouldn't get back on the bike. Maybe you should just walk home." But I said, "No, you can do this. Get back on the bike. Don't let the fear keep you from finishing the journey. The fear won't let you finish. It will just keep you from finishing the trail. You just got to keep going at it." And so after that pause, after that break, I watched him get on the bike, finish the trail, and at the end he said, "That was the best thing ever. Thank you so much, Dad." And I reflected that on that experience with my own life and thought, wow, if I was to just stop at the first opportunity to share a story or something meaningful with an audience, and I didn't deliver it in the way that it was meant to, would I just say, "Oh, I'm not a good speaker"? You know, am I not cut out for this? Do I not have something important to share? But the truth is, we all have something important to share. There's something meaningful in all of us, and we have to overcome these fears. We all have these fears, fears of success, fear of failure, and those are real things. But if we allow the opportunity to acknowledge that it's there and to acknowledge that it's actually keeping us from rising up to our highest and greatest self and challenge them and maybe replace them with something that is more meaningful, like you can do it, that you are meant for greatness, you're going to rise up. Yeah, we all fall, but you're going to rise up. And I was just reflecting on this story that I heard about Robert Downey Jr. and how he hit a rock bottom. But no one knew at the time that he hit the rock bottom and was asking for help and challenging those fears that he would turn it around and become Iron Man. You are the Iron Man. We all are the Iron Man. We are all going to hit our lows. We're all going to have to come to face with these beliefs that are keeping us in a lower energy. We have to confront them. We have to challenge them. and we have to rise above them. We have to get back on the mountain bike. Otherwise, we're not going to finish the trail and look back and say that was the best experience ever. We will have given up our opportunity, our right to have that experience. So, I wanted to share that experience with you because I believe that life is a great teacher. Life teaches us wonderful lessons if we just take a moment to pause, to be present, to really reflect rather than just skipping past it, to take a deep breath and reflect on that moment. Wow, what was that lesson? That was given to me. Where did that come from? And I said yes to the opportunity. And the opportunity showed me the gift. It showed me the gift that I can share with somebody, that maybe that story is just what they needed to hear today, or maybe that story was just what I needed to hear to show up with you right now, to get back on the bike, to finish the trail, to take courage, to gain confidence, and to not let those little whisperings, because there's the story of there's two, the I think it's like a native tradition, that there's two wolves that live inside of us, a wolf that will tell you the negative things and the wolf that will tell you the positive things. And the question is, these two wolves, they're battling within the being. Which one wins? That's what the medicine man will say. Which wolf wins? Which wolf wins? And the answer always is the one that you feed. That's the one that wins. So if you're going to feed the wolf of fear that's inside of you, then the fear wolf wins. But if you're going to feed the wolf of positivity and strength, that one wins. So which one do you feed? And that's the one that I was recognizing in that moment with my son. And I saw the fear in his eyes, but I knew he just needed to get back on the bike. I knew that he could do it. I believed in him. I could see him finishing the trail, even though he thought that he couldn't. And so, in this experience, and what I'm sharing with you is that it's okay to have those downward spirals. It's okay to hit a rock bottom. There's lots of lessons in the rock bottom. And it's those lessons in the rock bottom that help us rise up above and rise to our greatness so that we can become Iron Men, so that we can finish the trail strong, so that we can look back at the experience and say, wow, that was the best experience ever. And I'm so grateful for those lessons. I'm so grateful for our children, our family, our friends, our neighbors, and people that show us these wonderful lessons that when we take a moment to pause and reflect, are powerful teachers in our life and can keep us motivated to keep moving on, to reach our highest highs. So that's my invitation. And if any of this resonates with you, I'm working on an event that's coming up on May 28th. You can find out more about it at events.danieljmiller.com. This is a 6-week program where we're talking about stepping into the unknown, overcoming our fears, and tapping into that power energy that when you walk into the room, everybody feels your energy. It makes their heads turn and they're like, who's that? What is going on? I feel something when that person walks into the room. How to command the room, how to tap into your power, into your energy. So if that resonates with you and you want to find out more, join me. Dan Miller, danieljmiller.com. And I also wanted to say thank you to Lima for the opportunity to be here and to share this experience with you, this lesson that I received just recently with life, and also an invitation to take pause in your own life, to see those lessons for yourself and reflect on them. Take a moment to reflect and pause and breathe into it and see what's meant for you, because there's a voice inside of us, the voice of greatness, the great wolf that wants to see you rise. Listen to that voice. And if that voice is asking you to come and join me for this 6-week program, again, come join me. I would love to have you. Thank you so much, Lima, for having me on this program. Thank you for the opportunity to share. And thank you to everyone that's here, both live and on the replay. And I look forward to connecting with you.